Welcome, everyone, to your new family welcome session for primary grades. My name is Veronica Opani. I am your primary grades family school partnership coordinator here at Georgia Cyber Academy. We are thankful that you guys chose GCA, and we're hoping that you have we're hoping your new year is starting off right. First things first, I don't know if we have some returning families or some brand new families here at GCA, but Jigsaw, you're going to hear that a lot because Jigsaw is where you go, where your students go, and sometimes where you will go to join class. For our parents, we do parent meetings in our Jigsaw platform. We're doing this session in our Jigsaw platform, but this is the classroom. And when you're in the classroom, whether it's your student or yourself, you have capabilities of controlling the devices, which some of the devices are the settings, right? The settings option. Now, when I just asked about you guys seeing my presentation, you guys gave me a thumbs up and there was a dinging sound. Those are notifications. You can turn those off because when you do have the ability to type in the chat box, currently we do have the chat box locked so that we can just conduct the session for all the way through until Q&A, which will open up the chat box. But when we do have that, you'll hear a lot of dinging sounds. So as you can see, right there by the arrow, the red arrow is a settings icon. You can click on that and you can click on notifications. Notifications will give you the ability to turn those notifications off, whether it's the chat box or the notification for feedback. Feedback is when I ask, hey, give me a thumbs up, give me a smiley face, give me an emojicon, which is at the lower end of your computer, the of your screen on your Jigsaw screen. You'll see the icon for the emojis. I hear somebody using it now. So also in the settings, you can access your microphone. You can also access your microphone through right here where it says your name. And then you can just turn on your microphone on and off and your webcam on and off. For this meeting, we have them turned off so that we can just not have any interruptions while we're presenting. At any time, if your student needs to use the restroom, needs to get a glass of water or something to eat while they're in class, we try to tell our parents to make sure students go to the bathroom, eat, do whatever, but we know emergencies happen. You can hit the step away functionality. The step away functionality, give me one quick second. The step away functionality indicates to the room that you are away. So we'll know that you're not engaged. Make sure when you come back or you and your students come back that you hit that step away function so that they can, so that your teacher knows that you're back in the room and engaged and ready to engage in class. This big refresh my connection is a must if you're having any problems, sound issue, your computer is frozen, you don't know what's going on, just refresh your screen by clicking on that refresh my connection, or you can type on your keyboard Control R, that will refresh your connection. A lot of the times your teachers or support staff, if people are typing in the chat box that can't hear you, I can't see anything, they'll tell you to refresh your connection. Just go to the settings down at the bottom, there goes refresh my connection. And in future sessions, you may have the capability, if even your students in class, to go to different breakout rooms. Right now, we do not have that functionality in this session, but if at any chance you do have that functionality in future sessions, you can click on this notebook looking icon and it will prompt you to choose a breakout room for you or your student to attend if that is a functionality in future sessions. So again, like I introduced myself, my name is Veronica Opani. I'm your primary family school partnership coordinator. Here at GCA, parent and family engagement is an ongoing process. It's important to us. It's especially important to our team. But family engagement, as you all know, thank you guys for starting it off by attending this session. It increases participation, right? Your students want to participate in school. Your students, you guys want to communicate with your teachers as well as support staff. You want to collaborate with your peers, your fellow parents, your schools, your communities. All of this will help educate your child, will help get your child engaged. And that's what our team tries to facilitate every chance we to get our families to participate, to communicate, to collaborate with their school leaders, their teachers, and their community partners. So we provide all of these services in different ways. This is just a few things that we do here at GCA, but we provide resources and communications. You guys received a s'more. You guys will be receiving more s'mores throughout the year. Those are our modes of communications. It's easy to translate for our limited English family, so we love using the program S'more, so families can get it on their phone or their other mobile devices, easy where they are. Recognize the value of parents and how to communicate with them and work with them. We recognize that we are equal partners here, that we can't do this. We can't educate your student without your support. And so we see our parents as an equal partner here at GCA. We provide school and parent family compacts. We provide our parent and family engagement policy in a family friendly language, no intimidation languages, meaning that advanced education language. We try to make it as user friendly that you and your student can both read together and understand. Provide parent and student programs. We do meetings, we do student and volunteer opportunities, we do parent and student leadership opportunities. We just have a lot of family engagement programs here at GCA that you can get involved in and your students can get involved in. So you feel connected with the school and you feel like you're partnering with your school. Here's our mission and vision here at GCA. Our mission is to provide and support an interactive virtual learning. We are solely virtual, so we have to make it work, right? We have to make it interactive. We have to make it engaging. And we do individualize and differentiate. We're very student-centered. We're very focusing on what students need, the glows and grows, as we like to say it, that students need in their education. And we do that across from kindergarten through 12th grade. Our vision here is to have them immerse themselves in their learning environment and empower themselves. A lot of the times we are trying to empower our students and you guys to collaborate with their teachers, their parents, their learning coaches. Sometimes the parent and learning coach is different. So we want our students to empower, we want to empower our students so that they are more in charge of their education, that they're asking their parents for help, asking their teachers for help, their administration for help, as well as we want to empower our parents to do the same thing. And this is essentially so that they are ready for college or a career, and to be productive in their society and to provide them with the tools that they will need in order to be, modeled citizens in their community. And I am going to now let Miss Bailey take it away.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I am so excited to be here with you this afternoon. We're so happy that you have chosen GCA, and we do not take that lightly. That is something that is an honor to us, and that is very important. Just to share a little bit with you about myself, I am a mom of 3 boys. I live in Cobb County here in Georgia. And I started at GCA many years ago as a kindergarten teacher. So the primary grades and GCA as a school are very near and dear to my heart. And I have been a learning coach here before too. So I've been in your shoes, and I can tell you, you are in the best place possible, and we are going to take really good care of you. I know it's very overwhelming when you first join us. So just give it a little bit of time. We're gonna take good care of you, and you're gonna love it here. So I am glad to meet you. Let me share a little bit with you about our assistant principals. So the first 2 assistant principals you see on the slide there, Miss Susan Rudd and Miss Tamisha Shelton, they work with both the primary K-2 grades and elementary 3-5. So you may interact with them about a third through fifth grader if you have a student in that grade band as well. They work with a lot of the operations behind the scenes. Tamisha works with discipline and attendance. So you may not work with them quite as closely, but I want you to know who they are. And then Miss Mills, Miss Amanda Mills, and Dr. Heather Bishop, they work with primary grades K-2. Miss Mills works with our curriculum administrators. They both work very closely with our teachers. And Dr. Bishop works more specifically with instructional support services. So anything academically that your student needs additional help with, Dr. Bishop is the one who could help you with that. All right, I'm going to share a little bit with you next just about how our program works here in K-2, and I'm going to share a little bit about the schedule too. So all grades begin with a morning meeting. Our whole school starts with a homeroom every morning. So no matter what grade you're in, you're attending homeroom from 8 to 8:20. We love that time in primary. That's a great time to get to know each other, for the kids to get to talk. When we get into our instructional periods, there's a lot to pack in with our academics. So we love our morning meetings. You go to morning meeting with your homeroom teacher on Monday and Fridays. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you get to go with your counselor. We have live classes every day, Monday through Friday, and your student will get instruction in all of their contents every day. And when we say 4 core contents like that, we're referring to math, language arts, science, and social studies. The next bullet on there, tier 2 and 3 support sessions for reading and math, that just means that we're going to give your student extra help if they need it. If your student needs extra help in math, then they could qualify to have some extra help and get an extra class in there. Our students attend electives classes, and those are required once a week for each of those classes. So for second semester, it's health, and then the other classes art. So you go to art one time and health one time. All grade bands have a common lunch period. This is something that we love and really like, that your whole family, if you have multiple students here, can be on lunch at the same time every day. We are working very hard to grow our primary writers, and we're also working to make writing more fun, because writing is tough when you're learning how to write as a kindergarten, first or second grader. And a lot of our kids have a perception of writing that they're like, "Oh, I don't like to write." So that's something we're really working on this year, because writing is fun. And that's something we would love your help with, in just communicating that positively and helping us to grow our writers. So we're working on that in all contents. And one other thing I want to mention is, you've seen how we're both on webcam. We want your kiddos to get on their webcams, to turn their webcams on during class. Now, during assessments, you will be required to use the webcam. But during your other classes, we encourage students to use their webcams as much as possible when the teachers have them turned on, so that you can interact and engage. That's the way we connect and feel like we're really in the classroom together. So that's very important to us. All right, this slide is showing a sample schedule. So this is not your schedule, of course. You'll be able to see your student's schedule in Infinite Campus, but this is a sample schedule for a kindergarten or a first grader. So there's that morning meeting that I shared with you that everyone starts with. Kindergarten and first graders have 3 language arts sessions, because, as you know, early readers and writers, we need a lot of time in ELA. So on this sample schedule, you'll see guided reading, and then later in the day, phonics, and also a writing block. All right. And then there is a math block. There is 1 period of science and social studies combined. So we alternate those contents. We'll work on science 1 week, and then we'll work on social studies. There's that lunch period that everybody has at the same time. And then there are 2 periods on there in this sample, 5th and 7th, that are independent assignments or electives. So you might have your 1 art class one day, maybe on Tuesdays you have art right then, and then the other days, that's a free period, so that you can go into Canvas, work on your assignments, do whatever work you need to do outside of the live class with your teacher. And then we'll look at a second grade schedule, which is pretty similar, except that our second graders, they're starting to have more science and social studies standards. So that class is split, and they attend every day. They don't do the alternating schedule. All right, so the similarities are they start with the morning meeting, they have lunch at the same time, but they have math, science, social studies, and ELA separately. They have two language arts blocks. One is a guided reading block, and the other is for writing.
Thank you, Ingrid. And I'm going to take it away. Introducing your primary counselors. You have Miss Tamika, who is our K-5 counseling lead, and she also is our kindergarten counselor. We have our first grade counselor, who is Miss Beth, and we have our second grade counselor, who is Miss Tammy. Our counseling department is fabulous. You guys are going to meet them. Your students will meet them again Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays in the morning. So they are doing a lot of activities there. Their whole focus is to support students academically, social, emotional, career education, and the goal, again, tying into our vision, right, which is to empower students to be confident, have develop good relationships, social skills, and to be successful in life. So for our legal guardians or our learning coaches, this is what we expect here at GCA. The role of a learning coach is very near and dear to us. Again, tying back to that partnership. We see you all as partners. So with that being said, with that partnership, there's a lot of things that we expect that our learning coaches do to help support their student in, learning and making sure that they're supervising their students, they're monitoring their students' progress throughout the school day and year. So again, entering that attendance. You guys are going through Strong Start right now, hearing the word nucleus and how to enter your attendance. It is important every day outside of your students going to class because your students' attendance will be taken while they're in class through Jigsaw, and Jigsaw will talk to Nucleus. However, the outside work, right? Y'all have that independent free period. Those are when you enter attendance. Any type of assignments that you do or your students do, matter of fact, outside of classes, you will enter the attendance. You have to enter your attendance to meet the minimum requirements, which is on our website, and you can find it in our handbook. But the minimum requirements for your grade level specific student. Read your GCA emails. We're sending a lot of emails, a lot of communication. Again, tying back into that piece, that partnership. We want to keep you informed. We want to be transparent to your students' learning and what's going on in your school, as well as answering all of those communications, completing any paperwork requests and surveys. Again, that partnership right there. We want your feedback. We want your engagement. So if you can help us and complete those paperwork requests and surveys. Keep student information up to date. Obviously, we don't know what's going on in your household unless you inform us. So please keep your student information up to date. Mrs. Bailey will tell you a lot of your teachers want to send you guys or send your students little thank you notes or I'm proud of you. So we want to make sure that we have the most updated information in the system. Monitor students' assignment completions and grades daily. It is important that you're in there with your students, especially my babies, my K-2 babies, that you're in there making sure that you're following along, that you're showing them how to go and do their assignments, complete their assignments. You're making sure that you are helping your students get their assignments in on time so that they are successful throughout the school year. Ensure that your students attend all their required live classes. All students are required to attend class, all new students. So every class is required for them to attend. So making sure you know what time class is. And again, through Strong Start, you are going to get all of the, okay, where is class? How do I make sure my student is in class? Your family engagement liaison will be having orientations with you guys to show you guys how to get to class and equip you guys with the information that you need to know in order how to make sure that you're properly monitoring and supervising your student each day. Okay, and then also monitor your student while taking assessments to ensure that they're not getting any additional help. because we need to make sure that we are providing the support that needs to be in place. Mrs. Bailey mentioned that tier 2, tier 3 additional support for math. Or any other content areas if there needs to be any additional support. So when they're taking assignments, please don't help them. There are, for our kindergartners, obviously, they are still learning how to read, right? Or even just starting to read. There are some tools in those assessments that will read to them. So you don't need to read anything to them. Your testing coordinator, as well as your teachers, will inform you all the things that you need to do in order to ensure that your student is taking the assessments, but not helping them with them. Reading the again, reading the assessments, questions, or answers to your students is helping them, and you should not do it. There are some tools in those assessments that will read to them, so we can make sure that we are not, when you do read, right? If you're helping, you're reading a question. Sometimes you elevate your voice a little bit louder on the right answer. So we just want to make sure that our students are feeling comfortable with taking the assessments. The assessments is what they know, so we can provide additional support to them in their education. Again, we are differentiating, we are student centered, so we want to make sure we are individualizing their education. Communicate with your student's teacher, counselors, and family engagement liaison whenever they feel that their student is struggling. You are an advocate to your student, so if you feel like your student needs more additional support, maybe some tutoring services, our teachers and our support staff are there to provide those resources for you. So we do expect our students to also show up to school, right? To have a responsibility to empower them. Again, tying back into our mission, work in a distraction-free environment. I know that sometimes some living spaces may be hard to do that, but empowering your students to let you know if the TV's too loud, or if mom or dad or grandma is talking too loud in the background, empowering your students to tell you, hey, it's a little loud, I can't hear my teacher, right? So that's what we expect our students to do. Treat themselves and others with courtesy, fairness, and respect. Obviously, you guys are doing that in your household. We want our students to know that that's how we conduct ourselves in class as well. Respect your school property, engage and participate in lab classes. Like Mrs. Bailey said, your teachers want to know that the students get it and feel empowered and feel like they're learning a lot of stuff. So engaging and participating, asking those questions in class, that is all that the teachers want. They want that engagement in class. Understanding and utilizing schools' procedures for resolving concerns, conflicts, and disagreement. We want to empower our students to speak up if they feel that there's something going on in class that they are concerned about. Tell the learning coaches, obviously, and the teacher. There is a policy and procedure on how we resolve those concerns, conflicts, and disagreements. So we will empower students to reach out to us if there's some concerns they may have. Again, attending those live required classes, completing and turning assignments on time. Obviously, that's the one job that your students, one of the many jobs, but the important job for your students to complete those assignments, turn those assignments in on time. Participate in assessments, including state mandated tests within the stipulated period. For our state mandated tests, it is called the Georgia Milestones. Our kindergarten through second grade don't have to worry about that. This is more towards our third graders. But participating in all assignments, including our state mandated, when they're ready to get some testing. Any testing that your teachers reach out and says is a requirement, your student is required to teach. To test. Ask if they are struggling and need help. So asynchronous days, expectations. It's not a lot. Periodically, GCA will have asynchronous days, and what that means is that means no live classes. So that could be that the teacher may be out sick or they have a professional development. Teachers will record the lessons, and students have to complete that recording during those times, right? So best practices, if it is a class, if it is an asynchronous day, do the recordings in that time slot that you have in those periods, right? So if you have math first period, go ahead and use that time slot to view the math recording in that period. Asynchronous days will clearly be marked on the student Canvas calendar. Teachers will provide detailed instructions. There may be some emergencies where your teachers leads may have to reach out to the class if there is an emergency and the teacher cannot teach live, or there may be a substitute teacher. However, we will be transparent and communicate what's going on that day if there's any emergencies. So students are required to view class recordings that day, complete all assignments. So it's not like you're free from school. It's just you're not going to live class, right? So they're required to still do the same thing that they are to do if the teacher was teaching live. It's just recorded. And of course, reach out to your teachers with any concerns. Um, how to access it, you will go, and again, all of this Canvas and Jigsaw, all of that language will make sense through your Strong Start if you have not already started viewing that, and your family engagement liaison will show you these programs that you'll need to use. But to access your asynchronous class, you have to obviously be in Canvas, and then you'll go to your course tab, which once you go to your course tab, you will choose content and then click on the Jigsaw tab. To access the recorded links, you have to click on the recorded tab. This may be foreign, but again, it will make sense when you are viewing the Strong Start modules that you will be going through your onboarding, as well as your family engagement liaison will walk you through. And especially your teachers will also give you instructions and directions if that at any time asynchronous days comes up. Students' attendance will be taken through Jigsaw and they will need to view the recordings on that specific date for attendance purposes. Attendance expectations. You guys should be getting communications on Nucleus and setting up your Nucleus account if you haven't already. But that's the first thing that you need to do. Once you get that Nucleus email, please go ahead and set up your account. What is Nucleus? Nucleus is where your students' attendance is logged, and where you can check for any missing class if your students miss the class, or upload excuses. So this is where the attendance portal is, and it's called Nucleus. Students' attendance in live Jigsaw classes is automatically updated. So you do not need to worry about taking or entering attendance for your students being in class. You just need to worry about putting in attendance for when they are doing additional work outside of class and making up those hours for the minimum hours they need to be in school. Because outside of class, there's still assignments that your students are required to turn in, daily assignments that they are to use as resources if they need to, so that they are making up the full minimum amount of hours that a student is supposed to be in school today or each day. Who should you contact if you have any attendance questions or absences? Again, you will be receiving a welcome letter from your attendance specialist. They are the go-to for attendance. Any attendance questions, any absence, any missed classes, you will go to your attendance specialist. And in Nucleus, you can access them via email and phone in the Nucleus account. I think that's awesome. I've heard so much feedback on how easy, and in case you don't remember who your attendance specialist is, you can just go into your Nucleus account and your attendance specialist is tied into your Nucleus account. They are going to be having, excuse me, they're going to be having help sessions. Actually, it's starting now during this time frame. So you guys have a lot of time to get to the help session. If you have any questions on setting up, questions about attendance and what is an absence, what is an excused absence, please, they are there for support from 12 to 12:45 Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. You can find this on the GCA calendar. Miss Gilliard, if you can put it in the chat box for me, you can find it on the GCA calendar, and their sessions are there, their times are there. So when in doubt, please look on the GCA parent calendar and you can find that information. Bookmark the GCA parent calendar too, because a lot of our parent meetings, a lot of our help sessions are on that calendar, so you can always go there to find out what we got going on at GCA for our parents. All right, so what am I doing the first week of school? And I have completed all of my pre-admission tests. You're going to class on the first week of school if you completed all of your pre-admissions tests. You should be getting communications about completing your pre-admissions test. You need to complete it. It's part of your enrollment, okay? So, but if you've completed all of them, and you're by your start date, which is January 10th, students will follow their schedule in Infinite Campus and in Canvas, and they will go to their required classes. Parents, your job again is oversight, making sure that your students are getting to class, making sure that they're sitting and being engaged in class, also making sure that you are entering your attendance. So it is important to go to those live help sessions for the nucleus attendance piece, so that you are informed on how to enter your attendance and what counts as attendance and what doesn't count as attendance. So you're informed on that. If you have not completed your pre-admission test by your start date, please understand failure to complete it may mean that your student will not continue with GCA. So if you have any questions on what I'm talking about pre-admission tests, right now you haven't heard anything, you don't know, please, and Miss Michelle, if you could copy or type that link in the chat box or the email address in the chat box, please reach out to Family Success at georgiacyber.org. Also, Miss Michelle put in the chat box the link to this presentation. All of the links are live. All of the email addresses are live, so you can also copy and paste. But if you just want to know it right now, Family Success at Georgia Cyber for any questions or concerns about your pre-admission test. For my students with an IEP, if your students receive special education services, please have that and has an IEP, and you did not submit it while your enrollment, please submit it to GCA records GCA records at georgiacyber.org. I'm sorry I did not put that in the chat box, but if you have any special education documentation that you did not submit during enrollment, GCA records at georgiacyber.org, submit your document there. But if you did already submit it and you have all your prepper information, you will receive an intake meeting. So look for that meeting via email from an intake specialist. You will need to attend so we can review your student's IEP and accommodations, and we can make sure that your student is well taken care of here at GCA. We are all here for you. You have different support staffs, your teachers that are all here for you and your success here at GCA, both your student and your success. So your family engagement liaison, what do? How can they help you? They're the go-to for general questions about GCA. You can start with them, definitely start with them, and they will be able to direct you through those tabs if you need to go to your homeroom teacher, content teacher, or your family school partnership, or any other support staff. But they also help in support with Infinite Campus questions, any navigational support. So anytime you don't know what to do as far as navigating through Canvas, Clever, anything, they are there to support you. They're also there to direct you on how to update your personal information. Obviously, your homeroom teacher gives you guys more generic homeroom related information, grade level related information, updating you guys with resources and helping you understand how to utilize educational resources. They are the ones that you will do conferences with, and the instructional learning plan, which is called the ILP. Your content teacher is your content teacher, right? The course content teacher. So for my kindergarten and first graders, you have one teacher. So they're your homeroom teacher and your content teacher. And Mrs. Bailey, correct me if I'm wrong. Do they also do electives for K K-1, are they also doing electives, or is it a different teacher for electives? I don't know if she's in the
No,
room.
they have a separate teacher for electives. They'll have a health teacher and an art teacher, two different.
Okay, so you will have that's the only teacher that will be different for my K-1. But homeroom duties and content duties will be married in together with my K-1. My K-2, you have two teachers on top of your elective teacher, so you'll probably have three teachers, but they also split the role of a homeroom teacher and a content teacher. And that's the beautiful thing about my K-2, because they get to really, really, even though all my other grade levels, they do get to know their other teachers, but they get to see the same teacher in a lot of multiple classes. So that's beautiful for them. And then your family school partnership coordinator, I send out primary grades newsletters. Mrs. Bailey loves sending out video notes and informing families about what's going on with primary, as well as resources that we have there. So please, those newsletters are gem to us, because we're giving you guys information that you need to know and will help you be successful here at GCA. I facilitate new family welcome sessions, facilitate new and returning family orientation sessions, and facilitate parent meetings in district town hall, on top of a lot of things. We do clubs for family school partnership. Our role is to do clubs. Our role is to do fun activities for the students so that they are engaged after school as well. Best practices for reaching out. So obviously, email is the best practice, because your teachers are teaching through class. So if you really, really need support, start off with an email. Obviously, we are not opposed to you calling, but please leave a voicemail. Again, your teachers will be teaching from 8 to 3:30. So keep that in mind, and they will respond with you to you as soon as possible. How do you get connected here at GCA? We have student clubs, like I said, that we will be rolling out for primary. Currently, we're working on getting more clubs, but the one club that we do have that we're going to actually start this semester is the For You By You Club, which it is a club where students run it, meaning that they are building up their leadership skills. So they reach out to me and they say that they want to do the, cooking club. I facilitate a room for them and have breakout rooms for each student to lead their clubs and with their peers. So it builds their leadership skills within the clubs. We do have our high school student leaders that help support and monitor those rooms so that students are staying on track and they are having fun in a safe way. So we do have some high school students that help us out in those breakout rooms. For community events, OMG, we have a lot of virtual in-person community events that your students can take part of for that social enrichment and the academic enrichment. Our community partnership team really tried to work hard with our schools to make sure that they are providing educational field trips that kind of tie into what is going on in their for that month or in their grade levels. So you can also get those events on our community partnership calendar. Mrs. Michelle will put that in the chat box if she can get that link for me. Again, this presentation is loaded in the group notes. You can always click on that group note to access this presentation. So you can click on the links live so that they are accessible, and go ahead and bookmark the links, because again, those are good resources for you to know on how to get engaged and stay engaged in schools. So for my parents and learning coaches, we provide newsletters, like I said, again, those meetings and workshops, parent leadership opportunities. We have a parent advisory council that is a council that you have to apply for each year to be part of. And our parent advisory council, there are stakeholders. All of you guys are our stakeholders, but they are the ones that really talk to our senior administration about what's going on, how we could do it better for all of our students. So it's a really good council. And we do have parent teacher student organization something similar to a PTA or a PTO, that we really, really encourage families, especially the ones that are thinking, how do I get, in touch with other families? How do I get to connect with other families outside of just being in the classroom? That PTSO, they have a closed Facebook group that gets um, that parents can safely go to talk about resources, tips, and tricks. So we really, really enjoy our PTSO. All of their fundraising that they do goes right back to our students. So we encourage you guys to participate and be part of the PTSO organization. So we have Learning Coach Live Help. We know the first week is probably going to be like slammed, that you guys are probably going to have a ton of questions. So we're going to be there for you. Learning Coach Live Help, we're going to have it from January 10th through the 12th at 12 to 1. So lunchtime hours, so you're able to attend. Just pop in. If you don't know what question to ask, please pop in there. We typically try to just screen share to make sure everybody is aware of where they need to go, how they need to get there, or any questions that they may have. We have Learning Coach Live Help available. And again, you can find Learning Coach Live Help on our parent calendar. And I believe Mrs. Gilliard put it in the chat box. So on behalf of your primary grade staff, your teachers, myself, your principal, we hope that you're going to have a great rest of your year. Again, thank you for choosing Georgia Cyber Academy. And like Mrs. Bailey said, it may be a lot, but stick in there. You have resources. Reach out to your family engagement liaison. Reach out to myself, to your teachers. Everyone is here to support you so that you don't feel overwhelmed. However, we're here to provide you with those resources so that you're able to support your student through GCA. And we hope that you have a great rest of your year here at Georgia Cyber Academy. All right. Thank you guys. It was tough not being able to see the engagement in the chat box or anything like that. So I'm going to go ahead and end the recording.